No.
Hold on.
I don't want to see anything incriminating.
You're just gonna see my face. Yep.
Says there's one person watching, but it might just be.
Yeah, okay. So I was like, yeah, that's in the yeah. Okay. So then I was like, oh, I messed up. It's really good. Makes me feel better excited. No, you present today. No, you yeah.
And he did, like, correct.
Yeah.
I should have not read that one.
Oh, okay.
Tea for toast.
Yeah. Yeah, you really messed up. It's okay, you tried.
I do.
I think that was
Did you read mine though? I read it. Okay, good.
Go through there.
That makes me happy because I'm like really. I wish I It worked. I liked it until I got to
Yeah, I did my undergrad there too.
I did here. Well, she states her.
so we can hear you, I think, testing.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a summary.
Oh, that's awesome.
I feel like we're there. Yeah.
Is that loud enough for everybody in the back? Should we turn it up a bit? Okay, we're still testing. Can you guys hear me?
Yep. Yes.
And we can hear you.
Cool. Perfect. Like technology work.
I love when technology works the way it's supposed to. Okay, the next question is, do you guys think it would be easiest to control PowerPoint from your side or from my side? I've never done this before. Can you tell?
We can control from our side. We have it pulled up right now. We can control from our side.
Yeah, why don't you guys present to the room? Alright, I think that will work. Perfect.
Okay, very cool.
Cool, and then do we want to wait a few minutes? Do we
Oh,
wanna
yeah.
how's the stream? Is it going?
Yeah, it's been going.
Do we have a couple people on there? Or is it...
No. I think it's just.
I think we can go ahead and get started. Are you guys good to get started?
Yeah, we're good.
Cool. Okay. Well, alrighty, so welcome to today's meeting. We have a short agenda today. First, we're going to hear from National Instruments. As you can see, our setup is here, so I'm really excited to see you guys here. We have technical writer Allie, and we're joined by some people online here, two of which I think are tech alumni. So I'm really excited to have them here again. They do recruit from this STC chapter quite regularly, so please feel free to ask questions or get to know your presenters because you will see them again. With that, though, sure, I'll take over. My name is Allie. I've been coming for the past few semesters, so I see a few faces that I recognize. Ryo is also with us in the room, and Kate DeBusk, who recently graduated from Texas Tech. Both graduated from Texas Tech. They were supposed to fly in this morning, and their flight got canceled at the last minute, which is really sad, but I was already here, so I bring food and presentations.
And we appreciate it.
I've been at NI for about 3 years now. I work on a team that does automated software testing, so I do documentation for mostly software. I like to visit campuses to recruit because I was an intern and then offered a full-time position, which is a really cool opportunity. I did not go to Texas Tech. I went to UNT and Denton. I'm sorry. The chicken is a peace offering. And then I'll hand it over to you guys. You ready?
Cool. Yeah. So my name is Ryo Flores. I have been at National Instruments for 17 years. I graduated from Texas Tech. You guys can do the math. With a degree in English with a specialization in technical communication. The degree was slightly different back then. I came to NI right after college. I am one of the group managers for the LabVIEW software team. I've spent pretty much my entire career documenting software stuff.
Cool. And I'm Kate DeBusk. I've worked at NI for about a year, and I'm an RF technical writer, so that stands for radio frequency. I write for both hardware and software products. I graduated from Texas Tech in 2016 with a double major in creative writing and technical communication. And I actually interned at NI summer 2015 before accepting the full-time position.
Awesome. So it's really good to get to talk to you guys. We're really sorry we can't be there live and in person, but we're excited that we're getting the opportunity to Skype with y'all. So you guys are members of STC. You probably know what technical writing is, but we wanted to kind of get on the same page about what technical writing is. But there's really not one answer to what a technical writer is or does. Tech writers handle a whole bunch of different responsibilities that vary from company to company, and they can work in a variety of fields, which is really cool. We've listed some of the common responsibilities that may apply to tech writers in different fields. And tech writers are really important because peer communication is super important in business. So that's why it's really a great field to be in. But you may be asking yourself, am I in the right field of study? So here's some signs that you might make a good tech writer. So you enjoy reading technology blogs, or when your friends get into arguments about proper word usage, they know who to ask, or they ask you to check in their papers. You also argue with your friends about proper grammar and word usage. Maybe you've taught yourself HTML or XML or some kind of programming language like C++ or Java, JavaScript. You've also written instructions to help a family or friend solve a common task, or maybe you're like your IT person for your family. Also, you proofread your text messages for grammar and spelling errors. You're the person who uses commas correctly in text messages. Let's see. So who needs errors? Fortunately, because communication is so important, you can really, you can find jobs as tech writers in a whole bunch of different fields. Whatever your passion is, you can find a place for tech writers. So if you're fascinated by technology, you can work at a high-tech company. If you are interested in finance, you can work at a bank or some kind of financial institution as a tech writer. Or if you want to give back, you can work at the state or federal government level. You can write for healthcare. There's specialized roles for medical writers as well. So it's really cool. You can kind of find your niche wherever your passion is. With that, I will hand it over. Let me move in the switch.
Yeah, so this slide kind of bounces off of what I was just talking about. Basically, for concise communication is necessary and general in any kind of business. So this slide is just an example of that. We'll flip over to the next one. This is some skills that common tech writing candidates that are successful usually have. Not all of them, obviously, on the desired skill side are required. They can be taught. But things that are important to point out are like, are you a good editor? Are you able to edit consistently and quickly for your peers, for yourself, for subject matter experts, for things that you might not necessarily understand, but you understand the language behind it? A couple other things I like to highlight are curiosity and interest in high tech, because wherever you are, you're going to have to dive deeper into it, figure it out yourself, and learn how to write about it. Some of the desired skills that we like to see but can also be taught are experience with any kind of markup language, not specifically code like Java, but that is a plus. And then exposure to those programming concepts because it will make it a little bit easier for you to pick up what you're writing about. Back to you guys in Austin.
So what are companies really looking for in a writer? Well, obviously exceptional writing abilities, someone who can explain concepts well and proofread all their written communication. So one way to do this, obviously, anytime you're talking to a recruiter or you're communicating with them, especially in a written sense, you want to make sure that everything is, all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed. You want to make sure that the grammar is correct. You want to proofread a lot. You want to also show lots of attention to detail. And also, we're looking for technical aptitude and interest. So think about what technologies really excite you and why. So you could ask yourself, do I see myself writing more for hardware, for example, or software? For you. Also, we like people who have familiarity with popular technical communication concepts and developmental tools. So it's kind of hard to get that context sometimes if you haven't worked for a company, but internships, great way to do it, can testify. Also, try to find knowledge about the company. Read the company's website, look at their documentation, get some context from what they actually write about. Think about what services the company provides and who its customers or users really are. And also, what should I look for in a tech writing job? Here you want to think about the work environment. How is the company doing financially? Are they stable? Is this someplace I can work at long-term safely? Think about what the average workday is like. So here we have flexible hours, we have a really casual work environment, maybe that's important to you. And think about how do employees work per week, how many hours employees work really per week. Is this something they have to take home with them all the time, or is this a job where they can really put a lot of effort in and then they can actually enjoy their time outside of the office? Also think about your career path. Do you have an idea of where you would want to get from day one when you start? Here at NI, you can start out as a tech writer and end up going into management or maybe a senior tech writer position. Try to think about where you ultimately want to be. Also think about the job responsibilities. What types of content am I going to deliver if I work at this company? And also, what other responsibilities would I have as a technical writer? Great question to ask whenever you're in an interview with a company. And obviously, always consider salary and benefits. The benefits may not seem as important now when you're in college, but later on in life, you're going to really think about that, and insurance is an awesome thing. Sorry, so how should I prepare my resume? Also, this is a really good time to, again, reiterate, be concise and keep it error-free. Tailor your cover letter. This is a great time to talk about that context that you acquire by looking at the company's website. Maybe talk about some of their products and why they interest you. Show that you've done your research on the company and that you're interested in them specifically. Don't just send out a generic cover letter to every company you apply to. And be specific. Definitely don't undervalue your abilities. Think about, this isn't really the time to be modest. Think about all the skills you have and be prepared to really push them and highlight them as much as possible.
Cool. So, we've talked a little bit about what tech writing is. We've given you maybe some strategies to think about when you're considering a job search. And we thought we'd kind of give you a little bit of a taste for what you might do as a tech writer at NI. So here's the situation. You're a writer for Love Windows CDI, which is a software product that we create. And your task is to communicate to the user that these are the system requirements that they need in order to run Love Windows CDI. Take a few minutes to think about how you would structure this so that the user gets the information that they need. You guys can talk to each other and come up with some ideas. We'll give you 2 minutes. We're presented with this chunk of text.
That last bit's a bit confusing. It didn't seem necessary to have the last bit. You could do that all at once, right?
What do you mean?
Like, here are these operating system requirements, and it's like, here are the operating systems, and then here are the versions. Like, those don't need to be separated like that.
Yes, they do.
Does it?
Yeah. I mean, standard writing procedure for like PC games. You have the operating system, and then you have the versions right after it.
What I'm saying is, that's what I mean. There should be not a separate bullet point that talks about the versions on the second bullet point.
No, they're when you do it, it says OS and then it says version. They're two separate things. You have the OSs and then you have the versions of the OSs. The only confusing part to me would be how I would say accept the 64-bit version of XP. So it could be, that would be the only part that's, I mean, it could be. You could put like exceptions, I guess. You don't even have to put Windows 2K on there. Nobody uses it anymore, really. It is true. By not including it, nobody's going to be like, well, what about Windows 2000?
That's a good observation. One thing is we do have a lot of military and aerospace customers who tend to use older operating systems. So some of them may expect to be using Windows 2000, which is, I know, kind of crazy in this day and age, but
They don't always update
we'll get there. It's possible. Quite a bit of process around updating your Windows system or Miller.
I guess what you're saying could work
Sounds like
too
you
if you
guys
put
had
it in
some pretty good
parentheses around it.
discussion. Here's one answer that you might consider.
That's what you're saying.
Actually, we only listed 7, Vista, and XP, and then we, in the parentheses, we specified which fitness those are. So that's just one possibility. Sounded like you guys had some pretty good ones as well. All right, so I think Allie, is this you?
Yeah, so this is just a slide about the positions that we continuously recruit for. Have open spots for writers starting full-time in 2018, and also a few intern spots left, but not many. You're eligible for an internship if you are continuing school after summer. So you have the summer and then you're enrolled in at least one more semester, you're eligible for that. The internship is 3 months long, paid, with relocation to Austin and housing stipend. So it's a pretty cool deal. And in that internship, you are given a project that you get to see through to completion at the end of the summer. So you're not getting coffee, and you actually have something tangible at the end of your experience, along with the skills that you learn. Do you guys have anything to add to that?
I think the internships are really valuable. You get to, like Allie said, it's not like a coffee fetching role. You get a project that is actually customer facing, that's contributing to whatever release is coming up. You get to interact with content experts. It's basically like a full-time job, except you get 3 months to do it. And it's also a really great opportunity for you to interview the company too, because you really want to be somewhere where you're comfortable and you're happy, and getting exposure to the company that you're interested in on a 3-month basis is very valuable.
Yeah, and obviously, if you're interning, there's, if you do well, there's a chance that you could actually get a full-time offer at the end of it. So it really is like a 12-week interview. So it's really beneficial for that reason as well. You could get a job offer.
Yeah.
That's what happens. So,
Yeah.
Consider for sure.
It's both Allie and Kate.
Yeah, and everyone else there.
Yeah, if you're interested in interviewing, we have a couple spots left tomorrow. And the deadline has already passed. But if you'd like to apply tonight, I can give you a phone call. If you apply by like 9 and don't mind the late night, last minute phone call, wouldn't guarantee that you'd get a phone call or an interview time, but if you've seen my face and now you know you have the opportunity.
Okay, great.
Cool. So, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about us, austin.weaconlife.net profiles a few different tech writers at National Instruments that all work in different product groups. Kind of has a breakdown of what their day-to-day life is like, kinds of stuff they write about, the kinds of stuff they do with their developers, because we have groups that are hardware focused, groups that are software focused, groups that have a little bit of both. So that has some profiles on writers that are in those types of groups. NI.com/manuals, we publish all our manuals online. So if you want to see what finished documentation at National Instruments looks like, it's right there. And then more about NI as a company in general, NI.com/company. And I think that probably wraps it up, unless you guys have questions for any of us, not just me.
What's the primary delivery mode for your documentation?
So I guess it depends on what group you're in.
Sure.
Riley, do you want to answer this since you are in LabVIEW?
Sure. So our primary delivery mechanisms are online documentation. If you go to ni.com/manuals, you'll see all of our documentation. We also provide PDFs, and we have a handful of printed manuals, I think, that we still ship. A lot with hardware because, you know, when you're trying to set up your hardware, you may not necessarily be connected to a computer, so you want something called LabVIEW and XG that has, we're calling them workbooks. So they're like interactive lessons that you can walk through and kind of learn a concept, which is really fun. So it's all online, and then some in product help, and then some printed manuals.
So primarily like text and then supported by like illustrations, etc.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
You may scream it, yeah.
So primarily text supported by images is what you were saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Primarily text and then obviously some like screenshots of what's actually going on.
Right,
Usually,
right.
Obviously.
Have you guys ever toyed around with doing something like else, like interactive for like hardware, right? Like a video or something like that?
Or
We're just
even-
curious.
Or video tutorials for like how to use the different parts of the LabVIEW software. I just looked at it online. I didn't see anything like that.
I think we do have video tutorials for some LabVIEW.
Yeah, we definitely have videos. Tech writers aren't necessarily responsible for the videos. A lot of those are marketing and our product support folks
Sure,
who create the videos.
sure.
We don't really have a great storage mechanism for videos right now.
I hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. What other questions can we answer for you guys? It doesn't have to be about NI. We can talk about tech writing. Also give you any tips on applying for jobs, interviewing, whatever.
So something that we usually get questions about, we use XML for data single sourcing. So that's the CMS we usually work in. We also have products that are still basically just HTML markup.
So I'll keep asking questions.
Go ahead.
As you guys are going through interviews, like behind the scenes, what are you looking for during an interview?
That's a great question. We're looking for folks who have a lot of initiative. We're looking for folks who have a passion for technology. The technology that we created in I is a little bit, it's abstracted, right? So it's not consumer technology. It's stuff that scientists and engineers are writing or are using our tools for. So it's a little bit higher level. It's a little bit harder to grasp. And so the passion for technology, being able to kind of get into your work. We're looking for that. We're looking for people who can work well in teams because there's a whole bunch of teamwork that we do. We're looking for really good communicators. That's definitely key. We're looking for elite writers. So folks who are natural writers is a great skill. Desired skills Ellie talked about, if you have exposure to XML, that's exciting. It's not required, but if you have a desire to learn, that's great.
Yeah, I think it's also important to note that a lot of the tech writers at National Instruments don't necessarily have tech comm backgrounds.
Yeah.
It's a lot of just strong writers with really high interest in high tech.
So
Yeah.
are there any like pet peeves where you're like, I hear this or I see this and I'm like, this is a no-go?
In application materials,
Or an interview?
I think that a lot of times students that are first applying for jobs or internships forget that their cover letter is a tech writing sample.
Yeah.
Typos in your cover letter are kind of hard to overlook. The way that our process works is that we recruit students, we look over their application materials, we interview them, and then as recruiters, we take that interview information and their whole application set, and we have to present it to a group of hiring managers. And even if we interviewed someone that we really like, we think they're awesome, that application material that has a lot of typos in it could outweigh a good interview when we present them to a group of hiring managers.
Sure.
Because they're looking at strong editing skills.
Sure.
Do you have anything to add? I'm looking at you guys, but you can't see me.
I like it when people have context about the company, and I can tell that from either their cover letter or just in an interview. If they don't really know what we do, it becomes apparent pretty quickly. So if they haven't even done the most basic research of just the high level, like what is our company about, then it shows very quickly, and it comes as bad.
Yeah, I think those are as you call them, no-nos.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Oh.
When you talk about wanting to see an interest or initiative in technology, what does that look like? Or can you explain more about how you identify that in a potential employee?
Sure. So let's say that you, I don't know, built a website.
Did something.
That
Program something.
Yeah, if you created something from scratch, like wrote a JavaScript or something, or you took the time to figure out how to put a computer together, or some folks have, you can automate things on your phone, for example, so things like that, just kind of going above and beyond, like, this is my phone and I know exactly what to do with it, but taking that little extra step to learn kind of something behind the scenes.
So we see that a lot, and then it's also helpful, part of the application process at NI is that you have to submit a procedural-based document, which is a really good opportunity for you to show us how to do something in a particular piece of software. And it doesn't have to be super complicated. It can be like, I did this thing in Photoshop, or like, something like that. But really good procedural-based samples for that software kind of shows that you're interested in diving deeper into it. Yeah.
Great question. The technical editing course has some assignments like that too, where I think I use that as one of my samples for an actual procedure. So yeah, usually have some good opportunities for that.
There was another question. Green sweater.
Yes. So I'm used to job applications saying that you need like several years of experience, and so it's really exciting that you all are looking for new graduates. What makes you confident in new graduates fresh out of college?
That is an excellent question. So we really like folks who your mind is there, like you know what you want to do, and you just need that opportunity to do it. And we like to take folks who are, just give them that shot and they're going to shine. So we bring in a lot of brand new people right out of college, and then we give them something to work on, and then they bring in all that enthusiasm and all that excitement, and they just go with it, and they become successful. So we've done this for a lot of years. We primarily hire new graduates, both as tech writers and just in every part of the company, because we like to see what enthusiasm and excitement you guys bring.
We've also had a lot of luck recruiting at Tech, which is where we get to see that, because we know that the program is really good and we get good students by coming here, and so that's part of it too.
Any questions from people online?
Nope, I asked them. They said.
Yeah, we stream.
We've been streaming to.
It's really meta.
So like Inception.
Ooh, that's cool.
Very high tech. Okay, cool. Well, if you have questions, I'll hang out for a little bit. Please eat all this chicken because I am not taking it back to my hotel room. I'm here all alone. And you guys have anything to add? I'll sign off. Unless you want to hang out, I guess we can hang out.
Can we get a picture with everybody?
Oh, they want to get a picture. You guys will stay online.
Okay.
A photo.
Cool, thanks again for this opportunity. We're so sorry again that our flight got canceled. It was so weird.
Yeah.
Alright.
Thank you.
What are we doing with the picture?
All right, well, they are still on this Skype. Can we get people to just go stand up around the podium? We'd love it if you would be in the picture. I'll take one from the back of the room here. Are you sure?
Yeah, David will take it. He doesn't want to be.
I want to say hi.
No.
Yeah. Hi. And I don't know if you'll have to get closer or like contrast, or if we should shut the light off. Yeah, it's gonna be.
There's gonna be a lot of chicken and cups in the picture. The tighter we can get, the better off it's gonna be.
I guess you're in it too, though, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Can we move this like cup, them two cups out of the way? Yeah, just like all that chicken. Just. I'm just saying, it looks weird. There's like cups and stuff hanging out.
You jump on the table.
I'm not jumping on this table. Yeah, that's good. All right, everybody smile, wreck 'em. All right, let's take a couple. All right.
Thank you.
There's going to be one more. I'm like moving out of it.
Yeah, definitely one like that.
All right, we're gonna close the stream out. So thank you guys for joining us online.